Hello and welcome to another video. What I'm going to do here is a video response to the to Time Warp Games. I believe that it's Time Warp Games. It might be Time Warp Gamer. Apologise for that if I've got that wrong. I'm not with the computer at the moment because I'm downstairs because it's late-ish, so I don't want to wake up my housemates. But yes, he and I believe Retro Red Steve did this as well. So Steve, I need to look at your channel and dig out your videos for this because I know Time Warp did it about a year ago. But I've only just seen his one because he just subbed to me. So a big shout out to Time Warp Games, the Egyptian Gamer, V2 Elite Gamer, and the Game Zone Bird Room, which hopefully I didn't massacre too badly there, who is a result of this sudden advance in my subscribers because he very kindly did a post saying, go watch for his REET81. So thank you so much, mate, and I really appreciate that. And I hope you all continue to enjoy the channel as your subscription progresses. Anyhow, so what Steve and Time Warp had done was a sort of intro pack of games that were going for roughly around a tenner or less at the time through CEX for the Master System. Now, as everybody on the channel who's been watching the channel for a while knows, I love me some Master System, so I couldn't resist the opportunity to do this myself. So the rules were 5 games that are under a tenner on CEX, and then one that's a little bit more expensive up to a 15 quid. And this is all based on boxed, so it doesn't specify whether boxed complete. I have no idea if my versions of these are complete. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they are boxed. So without further ado, the first one I picked Marble Madness. Now the reason I picked Marble Madness is one, Stone Cold classic anyway, but it's quite a good game for gradually getting your head around using the controller, and it's very addictive and it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of like a classic sort of 8-bit title. So I thought that'd be a good one to work in. Moving on, we have World Grand Prix. This is a great game. It's quite difficult, but it's a lot of fun, and it's akin to being kind of the Master System's answer to pole position. It's basically kind of a complete pole position clone, but it's really good fun. Great racer, and one I always come back to. And this one, I'm going by what I paid for it because CEX don't have it, which is a bit weird because this isn't like a rare game or anything like that. They just don't have any in stock anywhere at the moment, so it's not on the listings. So I got this for under a tenner when I bought it about, I don't know, sort of eight months to a year ago. So it's one I got quite late, but one I really enjoy, and it was cheap at the time, so I assume it's still cheap. But yeah, great racer, well worth picking up. Diagnosis is Almighty Lemmings is number 3. There's not a lot you can say about Lemmings that hasn't already been said about Lemmings. It's a fantastic puzzler. The Master System port of it is really good fun. It's easy to control despite the fact that it's on a pad, and I think it's really visually and sonically, aesthetically stunning for an 8-bit game. But for a game in general, it's a really, really solid version of Lemmings. Great graphics, great sound, everything's there. You can't beat it. And it's still under a tenner at CEX, so bang on that one. The next two might be a bit divisive, and I'm not sure what Steve picked because I haven't had a chance to dig his video out yet. And I've been my YouTube experience this weekend has been slightly iffy, thanks to I use a browser that's got a built-in ad blocker, and even when I turn it off, sometimes things say, "Oh, you've still got an ad blocker. You're blocking our ads. You can't watch stuff or look at our channel or whatever." And obviously, YouTube is cracking down on ad blockers at the moment. I need the ad blocker for various other things, but you know, so long as it's not like monetized channels that have like ads out of the wazoo, it's fine for YouTube, you know. So I've just been turning it off, but sometimes YouTube is like stopping me mid video, or the other way around, it's turned the ad blocker off, but it shoves like 16 adverts in a 5-minute video, and it's just unwatchable. So uh, bear with me on that. But I will go back and watch your video, Steve, because I'm well interested to see what you picked. But these are games that I thought, you know, they're good. I really enjoy them, and I don't think I think they're often like either overlooked or things that people don't pick straight away as big Master System games. But firstly, we have Kung Fu Kid, which I really enjoy. It's a great sort of platform, beam up, cutesy thingy. It's got good music, good graphics, plays well, makes you use your head a bit, which I like about it. You can't just sort of wade along, sort of smacking everything. So that's a plus in my eyes as well. And yeah, this is one of the Master System games I got quite early, so it's quite nostalgic for me, and it's cheap as chips at the moment. Especially on CEX. Anyway, I don't know what it's like on eBay because I had it for donkey's years now. Probably had it about 20 years coming on. So who knows? But yeah, on CEX, it's in the price bracket we were looking at for this. So well worth picking up if you see it, and gives you a fun platformer, but something a little bit different, I thought. Now, finally, this one definitely is controversial because it's made by the much maligned Teartex, but over time this has become one of my favourite Master System games, and I've always really loved the 8-bit versions of this game, and that is the Master System port of Capcom's Strider. Now, I have played this to death, and I've nearly beaten it. I'm a bit rubbish at video games in general, but I've nearly beaten this several times, got all the way to the final boss, and it's always a blast every single time. It's a little bit of slowdown, and yeah, obviously you're not going to get the sort of visual splendor that is the Mega Drive version, but I actually prefer it to the Mega Drive version because it's not as hyperactive and it's not as easy to just randomly get hit by something, and you can be quite methodical about it. And although the gameplay is slow, it's satisfying and responsive at the same time, and it urinates from a great height on the Master System sequel that was originated with Teartex. It was an original game that they came up with. Capcom agreed to letting them do it, and it's not bad in the grand scheme of things. I'd still rather play it than like Shadow of the Beast or Kinsaiden or some other games that just don't do it for me in the same kind of genre. But it's not a patch on this, and it's not a patch on any of the other versions of Strider either. So yeah, I was surprised. I mean, I was and wasn't surprised that this is still quite cheap. I think when I initially got this, it was like £4 or something like that, and I actually got this from CEX back in the day. So there you go. It's a little bit dearer than that, but it's still not over a tenner. So well worth picking up if you see it in your local. And the final one was a game that was a little bit pricier, and I've gone with the Master System version of Predator 2. This is a fantastic side-scrolling commando clone, I guess I would call it. Really enjoyable. It's got a password system, so you can get back to levels you've got to beforehand. It's an arena and probe title, and that always guarantees something playable, I find, and quite enjoyable, even if it's a little bit too difficult or whatever. I think the difficulty on this is pitched just right, and at the moment it's going for under £15 on CEX, which I was surprised by actually. So I think that's that's less than I paid for this back in the day. Um, so that's not a bad deal if you ask me. Um, yeah, I mean, normally I don't talk about prices, but the whole point of this was to find games that people could afford quickly for the Master System to sort of start a collection with and that they'd enjoy. So yeah, I looked into it for this one, and I've talked about it obviously. But Predator 2, great game, can be quite difficult to track down. Um, Certainly, I wanted this for a while, but it was a long time of Master System collecting before I picked it up. I was always finding ones that were damaged, broken cartridges, no box, all those kind of things, you know. So it took me a while to get one in a state I was happy with. Intrigued. No, I've got no manual in here, but you don't play the manual, as various people say. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching. Thank you so much to the new subs. Thank you again, Game Zone Bird Room, for the very kind free promo on his channel. Very kind of you, mate. Looking forward to getting to know you through YouTube, seeing more of your content, and the same goes for Evesham Gamer, V2 Elite, and Time Warp. All the best, guys. Thanks to everybody, and peace out.